Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another episode of Obsidian Extra Lives. I'm player support specialist Chris Stanick, I've already messed it up again. Joined by our special guest, Senior VFX Artist, John Lewis.
Hey, everybody.
How's it going today, John?
It's going good.
Is there any reason that you want it to be called John Lewis?
Yeah, so there's kind of a story behind that. Basically, my first name is John, my last name is Lewis, and my nickname is John Lewis. But that came about because everybody just calls me by my full name. You know, at every stage of my life, people just call me John Lewis. So it kind of just became a nickname.
Did you have a lot of friends named John, and that's why you were like, this is John with no H, and you're John Lewis?
It's a common name, but
it is
not that common.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were just doing it to mess with me. You're like, hey, can we put John Lewis? And I was like, yes?
It's been a thing for a while.
Okay.
It was not just for this chat. Actually, so the reason that specifically, that arrangement of my name came about was on Deadfire, when we were doing a little bit of overtime, and they were getting us dinners, and so we would put our names in the orders. And so one day I was just like, you know what? Oh, and me and Sean Dunny, who's also an artist on Grounded, we started just typing funny names for our orders. And one day I just put John Lewis, and everybody thought it was hilarious. So
now it's stuck with you.
Yeah.
And that's who you are now.
Yep. Or JJLL is what people call me on Grounded.
While you're just getting dressed and figuring out what's going on, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am Ellen Ripley's daughter. So I have to sign in right now.
Nice. Well played.
And let's see. That's a very open-ended question.
I mean, you could go anywhere with it. You could just be like, I'm John Lewis. I'm a Virgo. I enjoy long walks on the beach.
I am.
Are you really?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
I am. September 9th.
Wow. I guess that.
And who doesn't like long walks on the beach?
Right?
Right?
Yeah, so
but I prefer a long walk in the forest,
oh,
actually.
Really?
Yeah.
What about the forest over the beach?
I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just I have a thing for trees, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you grow up in an area with a lot of trees?
Not really. I grew up in Central Valley, in California.
Okay. That's where the karate is, right? In the valley?
Not that valley. No, not the San Fernando Valley.
Oh,
you talking about Karate Kid?
Yeah.
Right? No.
I've not been here that long enough, and I just keep hearing people refer to a valley a lot of the times.
Not that valley.
Okay.
No, Central
Valley. A lot of
Valley.
valleys here. Okay.
Yeah, Central Valley is the agricultural central, swath of California. I don't even know where I'm going. It's so hard to play this and talk at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay.
I guess I'm not dealing with any aliens right now. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's
so
the
in
hub.
the Central Valley.
Yes.
Where there's a lot of farming and agriculture and stuff.
Yes.
So it's big.
Though I was not a farmer or involved in agriculture whatsoever.
It was just in that area.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had big spaces.
Whoops.
I don't think you should shower with your clothes on.
I should have done that before I put the clothing on.
I think we just figured out the plot twist that you're actually an android.
Yes.
Because people don't do that.
Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, save me.
All right. So you didn't start off as a senior VFX artist.
No,
obviously.
No, I didn't even start out as a VFX artist.
Okay.
Yeah, I started out as a design intern on Fallout New Vegas, actually.
Well, but before then, you went to art school.
Oh, yes. Well, sort of.
Sort of. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, there's people here.
Hey,
nice.
hello.
Good morning.
He's like, did you shower with your clothes on again?
So it's not isolation.
Yeah, we're not very isolated at all.
Sorry. Get used to it.
So yeah, I went to UCSD for visual arts. And then I got a job after graduation at a small sort of game developer in Orange County, and worked there for a couple of years doing tech support.
So you know what it's like to do what I do.
Yeah, but more like dealing with you know, or yeah, you did tech support before, right?
It's
I mean, I deal with
We'll both get what we
issues
want,
that people
right?
have with our games and their computers and
I
things
guess so.
like that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay. So yes, I was doing something very similar.
Okay.
Yeah, fielding phone calls,
I'll catch up
emails.
with him.
Trying to help people,
You know,
get their
managing-
things working.
Yeah.
Or did you tech support for the company
Okay.
itself?
I did tech support for the company itself.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Well, sorry. I did customer support effectively. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha. So before that, though, there's one thing I thought was interesting about your description of your art school. Clothed figure drawing.
Yeah.
They
As opposed to,
you're how you normally do figure drawing.
well, I know you do both.
okay. 'Cause
yeah.
When I went to school, we always had nude figures.
Well, yeah, no, you do nude figures
Mm-hmm.
for anatomy, and you do clothed figures
For clothes.
to know how to draw clothes. Yeah, I mean, because there's a lot of intricacies to clothes.
That's
you know?
fair.
Like, yeah, I mean, how clothes wrap on the human body, you know, is a unique thing in and of itself. So, it's an important
I've worked
skill to
engineering
learn.
jobs
Yeah, I had always thought
Not
it
that
was
I've
just,
maintained it.
Yeah, I can still draw nude figures perfectly. Like, but you add a pair of socks to somebody, and it's like I can't do it. Were you always interested in art before you went to art school?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I grew up. I don't know. I started drawing from a very young age. Spoke to Samuels. Okay. Yeah. I mean, since probably before I can even remember.
We're up.
Oh, I can't.
Other side?
Can I? Oh. Oh, it's blocked. Okay, gotcha. Ooh,
This is atmospheric.
very. Yeah.
I'm liking that. So you always had an interest in art.
Yes, I always had an interest in
very-
art.
Well, what were you kind of drawing then, or did you? Like
Dinosaurs.
Okay.
Yeah. All kinds of fantasy stuff, random stuff like that. Oh, this is very cool.
It is really
I
cool.
love the aesthetic.
When did your love of games
Hope you all had a restful
come in
journey.
to your life as well?
She was a wreck when I bought her. Took a few years and a lot of contracts to refit.
Nintendo?
She pays for
Nintendo?
herself now.
Okay.
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers.
Nice. The Mario Brothers Duck Hunt combo?
I believe your
No,
contract is
Or
Mario
three.
3.
Mario 3.
Yeah,
Okay, yep.
3.
It's usually one
Yeah.
or the other.
Yep.
Nobody's ever like, Mario 2 is when I got in.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer because, yes, it's not a
it's not a
Mario
bad
game,
Yeah,
but it's a fun game.
It is a fun game. Yeah,
Just because it's
Don't
so
wanna
different,
hate on
really.
it. Yeah.
I mean, you're throwing radishes. It's awesome.
Right. Yes.
Does everyone have their
So yeah, then
Watch the
you
approach on the monitors.
did support.
Yes. And then I went to work at Activision in QA.
How was that experience from, like, at that point after you had done the customer support, were you like, I'm gonna try to get into games?
Yeah, effectively, yeah. There was a friend I met. So at that first job where I was doing customer support, I actually met somebody who works at Obsidian, James Malilly.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was going to school for game art at the time. And I saw what he was doing, and I was like, that's super cool. That's what I want to do. And because I don't know, for some reason, like having always done art and always been into games, it never crossed my mind to like put the two together. I don't know why. So yeah, it kind of like dawned on me at that moment, and I didn't technically go to school for game art. Well, I did for a period of time later, but I just started learning all the skills that I needed to, and James kind of helped me out with that a little bit too. Yeah, that's kind of what set me on the path that I'm on right now.
What game were you QAing on?
At Activision?
Yeah.
I started out on Transformers Revenge of the Fallen PSP.
Okay.
see it?
And then I worked on Tony Hawk Ride.
All right.
This was a while back.
Yeah, this is back in the day.
Tony Hawk Ride was the one that actually had the skateboard controller
Punch up 74.
that like kind of just rocked on the ground.
Yeah. They used to have those in the arcades too, but it wasn't Tony Hawk. It was just like you'd be thrown in a
Can't
half
bring the
pipe.
Torrens into
You
that.
just jam on the tail.
This is a commercial
Yeah, yeah.
vessel, Torrens out of
So
St. Clair
when you're
registration
QAing
number
Tony Hawk Rider, you on skateboard all day, like that skateboard controller?
No, I actually, so I wasn't technically a staff QA member.
Oh, that's right.
and
You were
You're holding
a
the
I was
lead,
strong
right?
no, I wasn't a lead. I was
We request immediate
I was a
permission
temp.
to transfer
Oh.
the
QA. So they had a
support side
temp
over.
agency that governed most of the QA there, and then they had some staff QA that were usually more like floor leads or leads of the projects or whatever. And only people who were staff were actually allowed to use the skateboard controller, I think for liability purposes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I had to use just regular controller. But yeah, I did test for that game. And then I went back to school to Academy of Art in San Francisco
The station's comms seem
for
pretty
2
screwed
semesters.
up, so I fitted
But,
sound your suit with a radio booster.
Very expensive.
I can only
And
keep the Torrens in transit
an
for
opportunity
24
came up
hours.
for me to apply to an internship at Obsidian
Safe trip.
for design on New Vegas. And so I contacted my buddy James, who works here now, and he was like, yeah, I think you could do that. And I was like, okay. So I applied, took a test, and got the job, and the rest is kind of history now.
When you came on, had you had any experience working in an engine or like working on a game prior to that? Or was it
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, I had done like some modding, just like growing up, like playing games, like building maps in StarCraft and Warcraft and
Okay.
all that. But beyond that, not really.
Okay.
I mean, I had done some 3D art just as sort of like my own training.
Just to kind of like
leading
build
up to
your
that point.
skills?
Yeah. Oh, I can't actually walk that way.
That fire looks really good, by the way.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to that kind of stuff too. Trust me. I'm just building up.
Okay.
We're telling a story here.
Nice. All right. Yeah. No, this is looking pretty sick.
So, when you were doing that kind of design, were you like, I kind of really like where this is headed, or I want to kind of experience different, what else I can do within a game? Because after that, you went on to South Park and then Pillars?
Yes. And I was doing a different thing on each of those projects too. On South Park, I was actually a level artist, which, there's always going to be there's always a little bit of overlap with design when it comes to making levels. There are a lot of like design choices that have a little bit of aesthetic, consequence with them, and same with art choices that have a little bit of design consequence. So there's a little bit of overlap there, and I've always kind of like straddled that line, I think, when it comes to level art and design. Although now on Grounded, I'm doing quite a bit of world building, which again is a department that has a lot of overlap with art and design. So
Yeah, I think one thing I found out from doing these is just because you have this one title
oh wait, I just went around in big circles.
doesn't mean you dip your toes into other things or help out when it's needed. Like everybody here wears a lot of hats.
Yeah, it depends on the project, I think. Grounded more so because we're a small project and it kind of necessitates that.
And South Park, was that all exclusively in Flash for a lot of it?
It was, yeah. Well, the art entirely was. Yeah.
And then, so after South Park, so you started doing level design in South Park,
Yes.
and then that's what you finished with in that game, pretty much? Is that primarily what you focused on?
Yes. Yeah. Well, okay. So the visual effects artist, also James, actually, on South Park, he was a little bit overburdened with work because he was the only one on that project. So I started doing some of the effects for the levels that I was working on my own to help him out, and I ended up really enjoying it. And I was like, okay, I want to try visual effects. So so then I requested that for Pillars of Eternity that I try out visual effects, and got approved for that, and been doing that since.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, in Pillars, that's what you did exclusively?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, for the most part. Like,
Yeah.
generally speaking. So, when you're doing that, can you kind of tell us what a VFX artist does? Because now that I know what it is and what you do, I don't know if people would specifically think that that's a person that does it, right? They'd be like, oh, well, that's a part of an animation or something else, right?
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, I can point out some examples.
Okay,
here.
yeah, let's see if we find some.
So, well, with visual effects too, there's also some overlap with lighting that happens, especially in modern games, because visual effects are much more integrated into the environment. So, bright, fire effects or magical spells or whatever are going to create a lot of light, and that's going to affect, the lighting of a level. And so, like in this case, it's probably just a lighting artist who set up these god rays coming through, or actually it's just a shadow from that net, actually.
And maybe dust in the air, right?
But oh, there's something there, a flare. Yeah, yeah, dust particles and stuff like that would be on the visual effects artist. But yeah, that's kind of a minor thing. You know, that's like saying, oh, artists do grass. You know, it's like, well, artists do grass.
Someone
but,
has to make the grass.
Yeah, but let's see.
I'm kind of scared, John Lewis.
I know. I want to go in here.
Yeah, light definitely can help set the mood.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But yeah, anything like fire, like the fire you saw earlier, or you know, anything that's sort of like a dynamic, bright, you know, effect, I guess, would be done by the visual effects artist.
So, in some other applicable ways, like status effects, or
Yeah, status
certain kind of
effects, yeah,
hits,
spells,
things like that.
You know,
This dust here.
Dust, yeah, anything like that. That's destruction is often done by
okay,
effects
that's a
artists
good
or
one.
technical artists too, because destruction is very, very technical. Take all.
Yeah, definitely take all.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not going that way.
What goes into lighting
Passcode.
a scene? Obviously, we can't get into like the very technical things, but are the way that engines and games work now? Are you placing a light source and then you have control over that through various options, or?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the basic gist of it. Depends on, you know, like in this game, for around the time it came out, I'm guessing probably a lot of this is static lighting, which requires
Is that baking?
a baking process. Yeah.
Okay.
Restore power. Okay, that's what I have to do.
So baked-in lighting,
Oh.
for those who don't know, is something that is built in within.
It's pre-computed, meaning
Pre-computed.
yeah, you run this process and it can take, you know, quick time event.
Again. I bet third. Yep.
Okay, there we go.
You're trying to.
Prime the generator, yeah. 2,000. Wow, that's a lot of power. Jeez.
Kilojoules?
Yeah. Ooh, 2,000.
Look at me with science.
Okay, so I did not restore the power though. Let's save.
And is there a reason why all light isn't just baked in, as opposed to?
Yes, because with baked lighting, there's no shadows.
So now you're world building and VFXing and grounding.
And lighting.
And lighting and grounding.
Yep.
What has that been like to see the game from concept to game preview to where we are now, just, what is it, few months out from release? How's that whole experience been, especially with early access?
It's been super exciting. I mean, because when we first started, we had no idea that we would be working on it for 4 years, right? Like we were just like, we'll just work on it until we can't anymore.
Until they tell us to stop.
Yeah. So yeah, we were just trying to make something as cool as we could, and things just came to. Oh, have I not been under here?
You've been under one of them.
I think I have.
But maybe there's something else.
Hold on, where's this?
You passed it.
The point of interest is behind me. Okay.
We're going to figure this out. One thing we're going to do, we're going to figure this out. What has been your most challenging visual effect to work on or grounded, or the most rewarding one?
On grounded?
Yeah.
Okay, I think there's a couple. The arcers shoot those orbs, those electric orbs. Those are really fun to work on. I actually just did a little bit of like under the hood revisions to them. You're not going to notice, anyone who's playing grounded isn't going to notice anything different about them. It's just more of a matter of optimization, and oh, well, that's cool.
That is really nice.
I'm right here. Verlaine.
So that is not baked in light.
No, that's all dynamic. It's very nice
Casting
looking.
a shadow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm learning today too. This is awesome.
No rescue for me.
Oh, you thought we were rescuing you? Yeah. All right,
Oh.
here we go.
All right. Now.
You killed that guy! Because he was going to kill me, you saved my life. This is about survival. Do you understand?
No.
Hear something?
I don't know. We don't see one pretty soon.
Axel?
Oh, something's gonna happen. Oh, here we go.
Have I got on me?
Oh. Oh yeah. Here we go.
So would you be making those blood splatters?
Yeah.
What's the best way to make a good blood splatter? Ooh, he's gone.
Decals for one.
Decals?
I mean, yeah, because you want it to splatter onto the environment. That's the main thing. Decals or like material masking. Wait a minute. I came.
Came from that way. Yeah, you came from a shorter
yeah.
corridor.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to do it for us today. Thanks again, John Lewis, for
Oh, yeah.
joining me.
Yeah,
talking
thank
about
you.
What you do here, telling us a little
Yeah.
bit about your history and playing some games, eating bugs, raising money for the chids.
Always happy to raise money for the chids.
Always the
Yep.
chids. It's a good cause. Thanks again, everybody, and have a great rest of your day. And we'll see you later.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye bye.
See ya.